Alright, I want to start off by saying I'm not very good at making videos. I usually have to make a lot of different takes because I'm not very photogenic and I'm not very, what's the word for it? I'm a bumbling idiot. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to let people know that progress is being made on CMakeEasy. When I started this project, there really wasn't a lot to it. It was basically just it writes out really basic CMake lists that have the really bare bones components like the requirements, the basic files. It it wasn't really equipped to handle anything complex like packages and components, which are a crucial part of using CMake and um, you know, building that make file, so to speak. You really need all those components to work together the way they're supposed to. So I went ahead and overhauled CMakeEasy in a dramatic way. I've added a lot of, I've cut down on the clutter. I've been leaning heavily into the alt string class. The way that commonly used CMake declarations are used, it's just all been reduced to basically const statements that just get pulled out of a vector. It makes everything super streamlined. It can be a little confusing to look at. Like I have a few comments here that explain how it works. You got CMake minimum here, you got version here. It's just showing you what it's writing to the file, so you're not completely confused when it generates a perfectly fine CMake list, but it looks like garbage in the program. It, I swear it makes more sense to use it than it is to look at it sometimes, but I promise it's more efficient. Um, it's got the program is at the point where you can write your libraries to it. You can tell it what libraries you need. You can tell it the version of library you're using. It's not quite to the point where you can reliably choose components. I suppose I'm going to try and put that in the when I finally put that on the repo. I'll make sure to explain how that's going to work. But right now it's sort of just barely starting to have real package functionality and component functionality. You could edit it yourself, but honestly I want it to be a little more feature complete than that. As you can see, I've tried to update a few more of the debug statements so you can tell what's going on. Always, you can, when you clone the repo, you can just turn debug off and you don't have to see all that stuff. But yeah, this is basically the program in its entirety. The file manager class is basically not changed. Declarations are leaned heavily into, so it doesn't have to have the statements physically written out over and over. And yeah, um, I've been testing it over and over again. So far it works really smoothly. It could be a little bit better. That's all I was going to say. It works fine, so if you want to just jump in and start using it the way as is, it should work just fine. If the code's too confusing, if you need me to clear it up a little more, if you need better documentation, let me know. I don't know how I was actually going to use the program, but I promise as it gets more developed, it's a lot easier than writing out full CMake list files yourself. Um, for the most part, it does a lot of the work for you. So if you want to go through and cleanly write the files and you have a good idea of what is needed, this is exactly the kind of program I recommend. That's the whole reason I made it.